the problem is right now, entering into something where you're doing 2 to 3 year exit proposition. I mean, it's going to be 2 to 3 years before you exit out of this deal. And I think now's the time for a quick in and out within a year.
Property Elevator is back and we are bigger than ever. This year, we see our angels looking to invest their hard-earned cash into some of the best property deals on the market. Will our angels be keeping their lights green, or will they be turning them red? And to shake things up, I'd like to introduce you to the lender, who'll be giving their insights into how these deals could potentially be viewed from a lending perspective. Our angels are seasoned developers, mentors, and investors with a combined experience of over 100 years. They are Paul Mahoney, Ranjan Bhattacharya, John Howard, Hayley Andrews, and Nicholas Walworth. Unlike the angels, our lender, Scott Marshall, can't shake hands on any of the deals. So, it's up to our candidates to impress one of the 5 angels for that all-important guidance and cash. So, let's meet some of the hopeful candidates pitching their deals on today's show. Michael, Reginald, welcome to Property Elevator today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about where you've come from.
So I come from Basingstoke in Hampshire.
Okay.
And I'm from Doncaster, South
Okay.
Yorkshire.
So they are very far apart. How does that work in terms of a business partner?
So I think we tend to always communicate in sort of select areas that we think are convenient for either Reginald or myself to get to.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I guess that opens you up to more areas, doesn't it? Having one
Yes.
of you more north and one of you more south.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Sounds like the perfect team. Well, good luck. I hope it goes really well up there. I'm going to send you up there now and we will chat when you get back down.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Go for it.
Hi Angels, my name is Michael and this is my business partner Reginald. We have a scheme in Bracknell. The opportunity that's been presented is one that's got outline planning for 3 new build property homes. This comes with the demolition of an existing bungalow. In terms of the team, I am a qualified architectural technologist. So we have, as I said, the demolition of an existing 1960s bungalow, which I think should be straightforward. It then opens up to us developing sort of 374 square meters worth of three properties. The 3 properties are 2 semi-detached properties, which are 3-bed units over 3 stories, and 1 detached unit over 2 stories.
Well, as Mike mentioned, we have a GDP of 2 million, and this is based on 2 semis and 1 detached house. Our 2 semis we've estimated to be around 660, which is conservative in the area. We had a whole sheet with comparables, and we have 680 for the detached property. And now funding required will be for the land purchase, which is 550. The development costs, we have 780, and total development value of 1.33 million. For that, we are offering a share of equity for 50% split.
Thank you very much.
Can I just check your resale value of the semi-detached properties?
Yes.
What was that?
660.
Each?
Yes.
Yep.
And the detached?
We have it at 680, but we could achieve more than that.
Ranjan.
Now this is being sold with outline planning permission. Yes. Is this something that the vendor has obtained?
That is correct, yes.
Do you know whether that is do you know the history of them getting their outline planning? What I'm trying to ask is there a possibility of getting more on that site?
I think the opportunity is there. I don't have the full history of what the vendor has done previously because we've been discussing through the agent.
Sometimes vendors when they try to sell a site with planning, often don't push it to the limit. And looking at the site, it does seem that there's some more juice there in terms of a higher density development. The other thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is the timescale. Now you're talking about a 18-month project, and I think you've factored in a 15-month build. Now you're about a 33% profit margin, yeah? Have you got any feasibility or anything as to how long going from outline to full will actually take before you can put spade in the ground, basically?
So our estimation from previous experience would be about 6 months as a worst case.
I think you may have already mentioned this, but what is the build cost and what is the investment you're looking for from us?
The build cost is 780, which is the development cost, and the land purchase would be 550, which is the agreed offer amount, and then total development cost is 1.33. GDV were conservative with the 2 million. We could achieve more than that, but I mean, as shown on the comparables, we went slightly below on our GDV in the comparables we have.
And do you have a figure you're looking for from us, or is it just the equity to be able to do it?
We'll be looking for the full development cost if possible, but if not, it's just the land purchase. We could have a conversation and we'll be able to raise the, hopefully through development finance.
Yeah, okay. All right, Paul. I just want to explore the situation with the semi-detached houses being worth the same as the detached, because that doesn't sound right to me. The other semis are either too much or the detached is too little. Which is it?
So I think the semis are probably too much because they're spread over 3 stories, whereas the detached is a 2-story.
So are they the same size?
Same size.
But one's detached and one's a semi.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would, even if they're the same size, I would probably see a bigger differential than 20 grand.
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, people want a detached house on the set normally, not always, because sometimes they've got a big family or they've got whatever. But okay, all right.
We did have a conversation about it, and we think we actually went lower on the detached. You could possibly sell for more.
If the semi's right, the detached is wrong, which is good news. Yeah. Okay.
With all due respect, he's going to say that to you, though, isn't he?
They will say that, yes. But
Yeah.
I think from experience, having done some other work in Bracknell, I believe the one thing I should have said right at the beginning is Seven Capital do say Bracknell from 2023 is probably one of the better investment destinations in the UK based on housing values.
That's
Do
good
you know why
news.
they're saying that? Because they have a huge tower block in the town centre.
Well, not only that, it's good news for Nicholas because he owns loads of property there. So, you know, it's fantastic
and
news.
Basingstoke, and they have some big investments.
In fact, he can buy dinner tonight on that news, so thank you very much for that.
Are you struggling to find your next commercial to residential conversion project? Well, over the next 2 years, virtually every UK bank branch will close. Banks are fabulous buildings in prime locations, and thanks to permitted development rights, they're really easy to convert to alternative uses under a light touch planning regime. My team have put together a list of over 500 UK bank branches which are poised for imminent closure. And for a limited period only, you can download this list absolutely free. Your next commercial property project is on this list, so download it now and enjoy the rest of the video.
Should we hear from the lender? Or
I think we should hear
I think we
from
should
Scott.
probably
Yeah, he
see
looks.
if it's bankable.
Now looking at how a deal might be structured, there are a number of covenants that a lender would put in place around a transaction like this. So if you take your purchase price at 550, the difference between the 1.33 total cost and the £1 million that a development finance lender might be able to lend, so you take the 330 off the 550, your day one lend against the purchase price is roughly around 220. Okay, does that all make sense?
It does, yes.
And so from that perspective, the deal stacks. If you, again, given your backgrounds, if you can get an angel in for some or all of the 330k that's required, then, in my opinion, this is a very, very lendable deal.
Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
I like you guys. You've got great experience. You've got a great team with you. Other guy that's obviously not here today as well in your pack. This looks like a good solid deal, but it doesn't really float my boat in today's market. It's not something that I would like to get into at this moment in time. So for me, yeah, good deal. You're great, but I'm not 100% why I'm not interested, but I'm not. Maybe it's because I'm hungry.
So you're out.
I'm out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Ranjan.
I like the way Hayley put that. I think
She's hungry.
No, not the hungry bit, but I think I have similar sentiments, because I think this is a very interesting deal a year ago, particularly because I think the vendor's got outline planning permission, and I don't think he's pushed it, and I think it's going to be easier to get two blocks of semis on there and all the rest of it. But the problem is, right now, entering into something where you're doing 2 to 3 year exit proposition. I mean, it's going to be 2 to 3 years before you exit out of this deal. And I think now's the time for a quick in and out within a year. And that's what worries me for personally what I want to get involved in. That's the only reason. But if you guys come back to me with proper permitted development propositions where you're in and out in a year, I'll be all over them.
I was waiting for that, weren't you?
Yeah. Well done, great pitch, and I love the way you answered the questions.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah. Paul?
We'll go to, and I agree with Ranjan. I think the time frame is what ruins this one for me, the unknown time frame. The returns on capital aren't bad if, for example, it had planning now and you could just get going with it, but it doesn't. So that extends the time frame of the development and therefore reduces the per annum return on our cash. And that's my main focus, is how much am I putting in, how long is it in there for, what am I getting on the money? So for those reasons, it's not one for me. Thank you.
Okay.
For me, I actually don't share the same sentiment that you can squeeze more on this plot. Looking at it, I think it's a reasonably dense area anyway on a housing estate. It's not like it's on the edge of a town or on the edge of a village street where there's sort of country roads extending out and you're extending the footprint of a village or a town edge. I think they've probably maximised it. And on the basis that it's not on a new build estate as well, I think the value may be a little bit punchy. And you often get sort of 10-15% new build premium. But here I don't think you're going to get quite that. I think you might get 10%. So I actually think your GDV is a little bit lower than you're hoping for. That being said, it could be a couple of years out to build. So by that time, the market, we're hoping, will be firmly back with some interest rate drops, and actually it might well be back at this. So who knows? I don't have a crystal ball.
It's a long way around saying no, isn't it?
But for me, it's on my area anyway, and I just don't think it's juicy enough. So I'm afraid
that is a no then after all.
That's
that.
a no at the end.
Okay.
So I've got to leave the door open for you sometimes.
Well, that's good of you. Now, I'm really not sure. Very rarely am I in this show. Very rarely am I not sure what to do. I'll tell you what I do. I'll do 65%, 35% in my favour. I'd like to see the detached become 2 semis in some way. We don't need to increase the square footage a huge amount to do that, do we?
No, we don't.
A little bit, a bit of tweaking, as long as there's enough parking and the gardens are the right standard size that allowed to be. If you'll do a second charge on your homes, show some commitment. 65 to me, 35 to you. I will put up the balance of 165k. I know it's going to take 6 months from now to get the planning, to get the detailed planning, but we might want to tweak that anyway to our advantage to make it into two semis rather than detached. So if we can do that, then you have a deal. If you think that's good enough for you, then I'll be delighted to work with you. You're both professional. I love that. I can leave you to it to a great extent and let you get on with it.
Thank you, John. We would like to counter offer if we can. 40-60.
No.
No.
It's never a good idea to come back with a counter offer, in my view, because it doesn't put us on the right footing to start with, does it?
Can we meet in the middle?
No. I'll tell you what I would do. If you can go away and convince me that we can get 2 semis rather than a detached, then I would potentially go down to 60%. Potentially.
So if we push that, does that mean you can take it to 60-40?
No, it means I'm at 65 still. So what do you want to do?
You just said if they got an extra semi.
But they haven't.
No, no.
They're
But we
not
don't
doing
get
a
to-
semi.
What if they go up
that.
then? Why don't you make it
No, but they're
conditional on
doing
getting
that
planning
anyway.
for the extra story?
So listen, if it's not 2 semis, if you're just going to add add an extra floor, I'm at 65, 35. If you want to do that, I'm willing to do it. If you don't want to do that, then that's fine.
Do you understand?
All right, considering, you'll be coming in.
You sound
with us.
you don't sound very keen.
I'm excited, John.
You're excited.
Yes,
Can I have some excitement from you or not? Or are
all
you
right.
just
Okay, we'll be
delighted?
delighted to
That's the word we're looking for.
delighted to have you.
Excellent. Thank you very much. It'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yes.
And hope is the beginning of many more
Exactly.
to come. So
We
that's how
find the
we'll look
deals
at
that are
it.
good enough.
Because we'll find.
We can do them.
Think big.
Yeah, we will find many more anyway.
Well done.
Definitely.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Good work, chaps. Well done. Can I just start off by saying that would be my reaction if I had to work with John.
He wasn't very keen, was he? Yeah. I think he'll warm up. He'll warm up when he realises that we can just jiggle it about a bit and
Yeah.
make it a little bit
Do you
better.
know what? You
joking.
don't start negotiating with somebody when you have no other options in the room.
Yeah.
It's either a take it or leave it deal. Take on board the advice
tough,
that
that.
you've been given. And actually, further down the track, if the GDV can be increased because you can put another story on, or
Yeah.
increase
Everything's
And
negotiable.
one thing that wasn't
I think
mentioned
they were right
there
to
was that
negotiate.
the lending wouldn't be possible without John anyway.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's not just about the 160 grand.
Yeah.
It's what you bring to the table on top of that.
Excellent work, guys.
Yes,
We've
thank
got
you.
another deal done.
Yes, indeed.
Congratulations.
Thank
You
you
went
very
with
much.
John. He
Yes.
gave you an offer. How are you feeling?
Wow. Yes, it's
Excited,
Yeah.
relieved as well. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Feels a bit overwhelmed with everything.
A bit surreal.
Yeah.
The Baker Street Property Meet is the UK's largest and #1 property investors networking event. The property market is going through monumental change right now, and at Baker Street Property Meet we aim to keep you up to date with the latest tips and tricks and insider tactics to help you keep on top of your property investing game and succeed in these troubled economic times. The Baker Street Property Meet is fundamentally about networking, because it's not what you know, it's who you know. And at Baker Street, we aim to connect you with the people to make your property journey a monumental success. There's no better place to be to further your property investment journey than the Baker Street Property Meet. So make sure you're here, you're connecting with myself and Andrew Roberts, our expert guest speakers, and 300 passionate property people each and every month. See you at the next meet. Get your spot at bakerstreetpropertymeet.com.